What lies ahead for Star Citizen and its single-player counterpart, Squadron 42? CitizenCon 2024, held in mid-October, shed light on this ambitious project, offering a glimpse into the future of this expansive universe. Today, we'll delve into the announcements from Cloud Imperium Games, short CHE regarding the next 12 to 18 months, revisit last year's promises to assess their fulfillment, and explore the controversies that surfaced leading up to this year's event. Hi, I am Jake, and this is nerdsection.com. Reflecting on the past year, CIG has introduced a plethora of content and features. Players experienced a new flight model, a redesigned star map, and a comprehensive UI overhaul. Personal hangars became a reality, ship displays were revamped, and the character editor saw significant improvements. The universe expanded with the introduction of fauna, fully explorable industrial stations, and graphical enhancements like volumetric clouds. Support for technologies such as DLSS and FSR was also added. More recent updates brought new rock and acid caves, an inventory system with freight elevators, and freight transport emerging as a full-fledged gameplay profession. However, the community has been eagerly awaiting Alpha 4.0, the gateway to the Pyro Star system and the implementation of server meshing. Progress has been notable. Server meshing went live in December 2024. Alpha 4.0 promised not only a new star system but also repair missions, asteroid bases, an overhauled mission system, jump points, and the introduction of new factions and contracts. While 2024 was prolific in terms of content quantity, quality presented challenges. Many features arrived with bugs or felt incomplete. Players faced difficulties on live servers, a reminder of the alpha status of the game. The massive technical changes, especially with server meshing and Alpha 4.0, require time to stabilize. The hope is that CIG can refine these features and deliver the necessary polish. Development controversies also emerged. Reports highlighted concerns about working conditions, extended crunch periods, and financial issues within CIG. Investigative journalist Tom Henderson revealed internal emails indicating employees were required to work non-stop for 18 days, leading up to CitizenCon, including weekends with only legally mandated breaks. Earlier in July, Insider Gaming obtained an email stating that CIG pre-approved 12 hours of overtime per week, promising compensation only after the release of Squadron 42, which remains 2 years away. CIG has not publicly addressed these allegations. While pre-convention crunch is common across industries, a sustained crunch culture is problematic in gaming and beyond. Financially, rumors suggested CIG was secretly developing a fantasy MMO to secure additional funding. However, analyzing CIG's earnings this year paints a positive picture. Although October was slightly weaker, May showed strong performance. Notably, at CitizenCon, CIG refrained from selling Squadron 42 pre-orders or Star Citizen base building packs, which would have been easy marketing opportunities. Concerns should instead focus on delays, shifting deadlines, and prolonged approval processes, which create uncertainty for employees and impact game quality. Since 2012, over 700 million has been raised, funding 12 years of development and supporting over 1,000 employees. Notable staff departures occurred recently. Todd Pepe, former game director for the live environment, left due to a refusal to relocate to Manchester. With Squadron 42 now feature complete, resources are shifting towards Star Citizen. This restructuring affected several employees, though exact numbers remain unclear. At CitizenCon 2024, CIG finally announced a release year for Squadron 42, 2026. However, meeting this deadline remains uncertain. A new live demo showcased the entire prologue, indicating progress. Surprisingly, CIG had claimed last year that Squadron 42 was feature complete and only needed polishing. This new timeline caught some fans off guard. Richard Tyra, senior game director and the second in command at CIG, played the campaign live on stage for over an hour. The prologue serves as a cinematic tutorial, introducing players to game mechanics and the story. Key characters are introduced, including the main antagonist, the alien race Vandul. Players start aboard the Javelin-class destroyer Gunlet, learning to operate a gun turret before being thrust into battle. The prologue is rich with cinematics that set the tone and enhance immersion. The camera work and animations are impressive, though some found the cutscenes lengthy. Perhaps CIG will shorten the first chapter, though the prologue is an ideal place for extensive story sequences before granting more control to the player in later missions. The first half focuses on space combat, while the second half follows the protagonist waking up after a crash and escaping a damaged ship. Players experience key gameplay mechanics, including hacking sequences, climbing and zero-G movement, and first-person shooter combat. They then meet Captain McLaren, portrayed by Gillian Anderson, before defending the ship from Vanduul invaders. After saving their commanding officer, players receive their first real assignment, a transfer to the UEE Stanton, a Javelin-class destroyer commanded by Steve Old Man Cotton, played by Mark Hamill. The real journey begins. According to Chris Roberts, Squadron 42 will offer around 40 hours of gameplay. While the abundance of cutscenes is debatable and the demo crashed 3 times on stage, with 2 more years of polishing, Squadron 42 has the potential to be a solid single-player experience, provided CIG delivers a stable release. Turning our attention to Star Citizen and the main topic of CitizenCon 2024. How does CIG plan to finish this game and deliver release 1.0? While no official release date was provided, CIG was specific about what Star Citizen 1.0 will include and how they plan to reach that milestone. Most upcoming features are set for the next 12 to 18 months. Progress can be tracked using the grey box and white box indicators. Grey box features are nearly finished and could arrive this year, while white box features will likely take until 2026 or later. For Star Citizen 1.0, the game needs far more locations than just Stanton and Pyro. After Pyro launches in Alpha 4.0, the next system to follow will be Nyx. Nyx is a remote sector dominated by a massive asteroid belt. Its main location is Delamar and the mining city of Levski. Some may remember Levski from Alpha 3.0 2018, but CIG has rebuilt it from scratch. Delamar is now a true asteroid with zero gravity. Levski has been expanded, featuring hangars and docking ports, a massive cargo deck and a freight elevator for space cargo. Levski is home to the People's Alliance, a faction operating outside UEE control. Expect smugglers and outlaws to thrive here. While Nyx is classified as an outlaw system, it won't be as chaotic as Pyro. Since it borders Vanduul space, it could eventually become a battleground for alien invasions. The fourth confirmed star system is Castra, located near Xi'an space. Castra is divided into 2 planets, Castra 1, a dead, barren world, and Castra 2, a lush, vibrant planet with mountains, forests and wildlife. Castra 2 houses UEE military outposts and the Cloud City, a floating settlement built into a mountain range. Unlike Nyx and Pyro, Castra is a relatively safe system, offering a balance between lawless regions and secure UEE-controlled space. However, Castra is still in early development, meaning it likely won't be fully implemented before 2026. Another major system on the roadmap is Terra. While not shown in detail at CitizenCon, Terra is one of the UEE's central hubs. Terra Prime, a futuristic Earth-like metropolis, serves as a major economic and political center, distinguishing it from the Sol system, which will be added later. Initially, Star Citizen was envisioned to feature over 100 star systems, but the scope has evolved. The original 2013 concept resembled a Starfield-style game with scripted landings and loading screens. Thanks to procedural technology, planets are now more expansive and explorable than originally planned. However, populating these planets with meaningful content, NPCs and missions remains an enormous challenge. To accelerate development, CIG unveiled Genesis, a new procedural generation tool powered by machine learning. Genesis automates the creation of planets, moons, biomes, vegetation, weather, and lighting effects, dynamically adjusting based on atmospheric conditions, water levels, and temperature. This allows for realistic environments such as lush jungles with dense foliage, swamp worlds with floating debris, and forest planets reminiscent of Endor from Star Wars. Genesis will also introduce seasons and dynamic terrain changes, ensuring no 2 locations are identical. A major breakthrough with Genesis is procedural settlements. Unlike pre-placed locations, settlements will dynamically appear and disappear based on player interactions and world events. Mining outposts will emerge near valuable resources, farming colonies will develop in fertile regions, and military bases will be strategically placed based on ongoing conflicts. These locations won't just be static, They can be attacked, destroyed, and rebuilt elsewhere, making the universe feel alive. Additionally, missions will react to the game world. If a settlement is attacked, players may receive rescue missions. If a trading hub is destroyed, new supply runs could be needed to rebuild it. This level of procedural depth has never been fully realized in a space sim before, but success will depend on whether these systems create meaningful experiences or end up feeling repetitive, as seen in No Man's Sky or Starfield. One of the most highly anticipated features coming this year is base building. CIG showcased a drone-based construction system allowing players to create homes, landing pads, refineries, and even space stations. The process involves deploying a base building vehicle, supplying it with resources, selecting a building blueprint, and letting automated drones construct the structure. Base maintenance will require proper resource and power management, with options to add shields and turrets for defense. Large bases will require cooperation from multiple players or organizations, while solo players can build smaller outposts. The placement of bases depends on the system. In safe zones such as Stanton, Castra, and Terra, bases will be indestructible but require a weekly upkeep fee. However, in lawless zones like Pyro and Nyx, bases can be attacked and destroyed, but players can claim tax-free land. Organizations will also be able to construct massive space stations using the same drone-based system. This addition brings true economic depth to Star Citizen, giving mining, trading, and industry players a real purpose beyond simple transactions. Additionally, crafting will be fully integrated, allowing players to manufacture items, weapons, and even ships. Blueprints can be acquired through gameplay, ensuring that the in-game economy remains balanced and not pay to win. For the first time in over a decade, CIG's roadmap looks concrete. They have demonstrated an ability to deliver content. Now they must prove they can deliver quality. If they stay on track, the next few years could be the most transformative period in Star Citizen's history. But will they pull it off, or will development continue indefinitely? Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out our Battlefield documentary where we cover the whole history of this iconic series. See you next time on Nerd Section.